Welcome, everyone. Pickleball Effect Podcast, episode 39. I'm Braydon.
And I'm Kyle.
All right, dude. There's a bunch of news this week.
Fair amount.
I tested a ton of paddles. So I'm going to give a little quick update on some some mini reviews.
I tested quite a few, too. I'm wondering if we tested some of the same.
I wrote down all the ones I hit.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see you write down
I didn't
any,
write them down, but
you probably
I
did.
can talk about them.
We've been getting the same paddles, so.
Mostly. I got some interesting ones today, but.
Like in the mail today, or
yeah,
you're going to talk
they
about?
came in the mail today.
Oh, today.
So.
You've actually gotten a couple brands recently that I had never heard of that you kind of hunted down and been chatting with people.
Some off the radar brands.
Yeah, so you'll have to talk about those. Yeah, dude, it's as far as just some water cooler stuff. Like I've been by myself the last week and a half. I dropped my family off the airport. They flew to her mom's house in Washington. So I've been going solo.
I've been watching tons of videos on how to make better videos and stuff, and using your time productively.
Yep, videos on videos.
Okay.
No, I was super productive the first couple of days. It slowed down. Now it's just I'll work for a few hours, take a nap, work for the work day is just drawn out.
That's funny.
I work for the same amount, just different periods.
You're play outside, shoot some content, then go play inside later.
But I thought I would get more work done, but it's probably about the same amount as before. But no, I miss him. It's always nice the first couple of days because you're you sleep a full night with no one getting in your bed, waking you up. But then but they're going to be gone for 4 or 5 weeks total. And
that's wild.
It's a long time.
Well, my family's going to be gone for basically the month of June.
What are they doing?
So they have to go watch a house with dogs, and I'm staying at our house with the dogs. So.
Oh, but is it still in town?
Yeah, it's still in town. It's an Eagle.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing, but I don't get to see them ever.
Yeah, your family's just a little further away.
It's just what they want to do. My wife loves going up there.
Family?
Yeah, she hangs out with family. She used to go up there to coach track, but now she's just going up there just to hang out because her family kind of lives up in the hills, owns a lot of acres. So it's a new look for the kids.
So your wife has a competitive background too?
Yeah, she's a very good runner. Played a lot of soccer. Anything with a racket, any racket sport, she's not as coordinated.
My wife's the same.
But other sports that
funny.
require running or whatever, she's really good at.
My wife was a varsity wrestler and then a power lifter, and she played soccer too, but she can't swing a paddle to save her life.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
It's weird.
Yeah, because you have to be an incredible athlete to be well at those, do well at those sports. But then some stuff just doesn't translate.
Different skill set.
But I don't know, what's your history of sports?
Football, shot put and discus, snowboard team, rugby.
So no racket sports.
No rackets. Well, I played tons of table tennis. We used to, we played so much ping pong when we were kids. We learned by playing Sting. You ever played Sting?
Yeah. You play out a point and then get drilled in the back.
Yeah, we play shirtless. So everybody's shirtless. If you get a point,
it doesn't sting otherwise.
Yeah, so you turn around and let the guy go at it.
I feel these days pickleball is all about sting. I got about 3 marks on me right now.
I don't think I can play Sting in pickleball. That would hurt.
I'm saying it is right now.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not. Yeah, I got pegged so many times this week. Not from YOLO, it's just in general.
We played mixed the other day, and the ladies we played, we tattooed each of their legs because they wanted to play guys versus girls at the end. And I felt so bad. An overhead into one of their thighs. No. And then 2 points later, my partner gets an overhead and he hits the other girl in the thigh.
Well, did you guys win?
Oh, yeah. The guys.
Yeah, that's good. And then Dallas is coming up.
Lucky.
Yeah, dude. I really wish you could come to this
too. Because Doug's gonna be there too.
Doug's gonna be there. The Olsons, Will. Then you got Q and Eddie.
Yep. And you said Dale from 6 Zero is gonna be there
Dale
too.
Will be there.
That's cool.
And then Brian will be there. It's gonna be fun.
I want to go.
So I was originally gonna fly up when Friday night after Heroes. So Heroes is the local to me. I was gonna play Heroes, fly out, but after talking with my partner and looking at start times, because my flight was going out at 6, I just assumed we're going to play early morning, but they wanted to start it at noon on Friday.
Okay.
So I don't think we'd be done in time to catch my flight.
Somebody replaced you?
Yeah, so I dropped out, and then Joe Monowitz is playing with Abe now.
Good partner.
Yeah, I hope they do well, but I was bummed because I feel like Abe and I were starting to find our stride again because we had a little slump there. But no, so I'm bummed we're not playing that one because I really wanted to play in that one, but now I'm going to play singles in Dallas on Friday and flying in Thursday night.
Fun.
So I'll be there longer, but it'll be fun hanging out with all the guys and getting some pickle in. And then I also signed up for APP Newport in early July.
Have you played that one before?
No.
So you have to go to Los Cab while you're there because that's close.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a fun tournament. I played last year.
Are you going to go this year?
I would love to.
Dude, you should sign up.
Is it still the same? Like July 3rd is the last day of it? It's like right before July 4th, right?
Yeah.
I'll talk to my wife. It's fun.
You should look. So I think Q and Eddie might go to that one, and then I'm playing with Olsen in that one again.
Man, I would love to go to that one. And it's close to Disneyland. We took our family to Disneyland.
Yeah, it's really close to Disneyland.
Yeah. So
yeah, I'm thinking of bringing the kids just for that.
That's what we did. We did tournament and then 4th of July at Disneyland.
Yeah, that would be really fun. The best part of this Newport tournament, though, is so I'm signing up for singles, and there's a 30-plus age division. Normally it's 35-plus, but there's a 30-plus, which I qualify for, and I'm so happy about. It's like, I don't want to play with these. Like, I'm starting to feel my age now. It's like, I want my 30-plus bracket.
There must be
a
lot of entries to have to break it into that many age divisions.
Yeah, this is the first time. Usually it's like 35-plus, right?
Yeah, 35. Yeah, because I played 35-plus for the first time at that tournament.
So they must have broke it even more.
That's
so
crazy.
Yeah, 30-plus age division. I could have been in the 30-plus age division for doubles if Chris wasn't such a young gun.
How old's Chris?
Younger than 30.
Oh, wow. He's a baby.
Yeah, he's just a little guy. But no, I'm like pumped to be in this 30-plus age division. And I was going to sign up 4 or 5 singles, decided to do 5-0 because of the age bracket. Okay. I'm doing 4 or 5 singles in Dallas. My last couple I've done 5-0, but if I'm being real with myself, I'm not a 5-0 singles player.
It's a different breed. It's a different game.
Yeah, I've never been. But anyway, so I think I'll be more competitive in the 4 or 5 singles, so that'll be fun. All right, dude, let's jump over to your corner, hit us up with some of the news this week, and then we'll jump over to Paddle Babble.
All right. Some good news. All the pros got a letter. The new Vulcan ball is official. It's out, not to the masses. I tried to get us a ball for a review. So the Texas Open, the pros will be using the Vulcan 2.0.
Only the pros, right?
No only amateurs. The pros, no amateurs. They sent out a letter saying, they worked really hard. It was a big fluff email about them engineering a new ball. But so basically this is going to be like the last beta test. She told me as long as the pros like it, it'll be official and it'll go to market, and she'd send us some for review. So
this makes it sound like they've been testing other balls, but this is the first time a ball has been.
Yeah, they actually this is
going to be played with.
Yeah, well, by the masses, like the pros.
In the tournament.
Yep. So they sent all the pros 3 balls. I was making a joke.
That's all they get.
So like Tyler Loong, he got 3 balls. I'm like, you are a Vulcan pro, and they sent you 3 balls.
don't break them.
So,
they must be really confident in their balls or not have very many.
We'll see. They did say it's a little softer though, so we'll see.
Yeah, I think to address, you forwarded me
I think
email?
I sent you the email.
You sent me the email?
I did send you the email.
Yeah, they mentioned that it was going to play a little softer in an attempt to kind of combat the out of roundness.
Yep. And there was a line in there about the power paddles too, that it'll control the game a little more.
Yeah, I don't know if that's why they made them softer or they just threw that in there.
I think so.
Saying, we made these softer because the game's getting faster. But it doesn't break my heart that they're a little bit softer. I prefer a little softer than like a lot of people around here like the Duras. I kind of like the softer balls.
I'm a cliche. I like the one where it's a little harder than the Franklin, a little softer than the Dura. Yeah, I like the middle ground one.
You used to be a big fan of the Diadem ball. You still play that one? I still
like the Diadem ball a lot. And that's what we played with in the tournament. And I mean, that's a solid ball. It'll go out around, but it doesn't really break.
I feel like it didn't used to go out around because did they switch balls?
They did switch. They used to use power pickleball, and then now they make their own ball.
Do you think it's different?
I don't know if it's the same manufacturer or not, and they just cut out the middleman. But it does seem to play a little different, and the yellow versus the neon does play different too. And we use the yellow, and I don't like the yellow.
That's how the Duras are too. Is the yellow faster?
The yellow is faster, and I think it's because it doesn't use dye.
Yeah, something about the dye makes a difference in balls, which is fascinating to me. So, like, for those listening, like, if you don't know this, like, if there's yellow and green Duras, the yellows stay firmer longer than the green ones do. Because if you play with the green one in the hot summer heat, it gets pretty decently mushy. But the yellow one will keep its hardness better.
Yep.
And yeah, must be something to do with the dye. But you don't see many yellow balls. Maybe it's because it's kind of harder to see.
I had a hard time seeing it. I like the neon green better than the yellow.
I think the green is definitely easier to see, but the dye does kind of make it softer.
Change the characteristics, yeah.
Yeah, it changes it's fascinating. So yeah, new ball coming out. I imagine let's hope it gets approved. I think good for Vulcan for coming out with a new ball, taking the feedback and doing something off it.
Yeah. So hopefully it's a great ball. And then hopefully we get a few to review. Next news, there were some sponsorship shakeups with so Gamma signed Jill Braverman and Brendan Long. So
wait, Gamma did?
Yep. So Jill
Brendan
Braverman
wasn't with them already?
Was he already with them?
Or was that a different Brandon?
Maybe he was already with them. I don't know. But I know Jill Braverman, she was playing with the Thrive, officially signed with Gamma.
Yeah, I thought she signed a deal with Thrive.
I thought she did too, but I guess she was just playing with them, which that's kind of a bummer because I like Thrive. But yeah, she ended up signing with Gamma.
Okay.
So that was official. Then
I guess kind of on that same note,
yep.
I noticed that the Fudges left Gamma.
They did. They went to Franklin.
The Franklins. They were playing this weekend with Franklins. They've been with Gamma forever. So the Fudges is like a family that's like Riley
DeHart,
Megan
Fudge,
then they have a couple kids.
Yeah, and they're competitive. And
they do the APP tour, and they're pretty competitive there. Megan
won today.
Won the shuffle today, which we'll get to.
And she won women's doubles as well.
Yeah, so she's having a good year.
Yep. So there was that with the sponsors, and then a little bit of drama with the APPs. I heard that Andre Diescu, Eric Lang, and Scarpa were all told they couldn't play in APP New York. I didn't get why they were told they couldn't play.
So APP New York was this week.
And
they couldn't play in it for some reason?
There's talk that DSU's working out a deal to go officially PPA.
So APP is saying...
Maybe, yeah, exactly.
Like sticking it to him a little bit?
Maybe. And then also, I don't know if maybe some repercussion from the substance found on the paddle. There was never any official statement put out of what that substance was, if it's still being tested. And
that just kind of fell off.
Well, I mean, there was like other drama to
mask it.
No, it feels like it. And I'm like, if there was if he applied a substance to that paddle, does that look good when they're trying to sign him right now? So, I mean,
I don't know.
It would almost make sense for them to push it under the rug. I don't know. I guess that they were saying unofficially that it was sunscreen, but I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it with
sunscreen. What's sunscreen going to do?
Make it slicker, not stickier.
No way.
So
yeah, there's definitely something fishy going on there. And I was actually, when we originally talked about that, there was some really good discussion in the comments. And I felt like the main takeaway from, after thinking about it and what people were saying is like, there's just no repercussions for people who dope, people who altering their paddles, people who, when their if paddles fail, there's no repercussions. Like people can keep trying and trying and failing and screwing up with like no fines, just nothing. And so like,
it's the Wild West.
It's the Wild West. Like I feel like it would be so easy to fix these things or at least calm them down if there was some sort of fine in place, whether you fine manufacturers for failed paddles, you fine players for cheating and doping or whatever. Like it seems like a pretty simple solution, right?
Well, I think they just have to hammer one person. Like one pro gets hammered for, because I mean, I've heard all kinds of crazy stuff about like leaving your paddles out in the sun to get some foam expansion, like between matches. And I'm just like, they're trying to game the system. So it's almost like hammer the first person you catch for sure that's doing something that you deem, illegal or, against the spirit of the sport, and hammer them, and then I feel like pros aren't going to do it.
Yeah, either hammer them or just say these are the rules.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
and if we catch you,
just make black and white, like 1 year ban if you get caught altering your paddle. That's
just write down the rules. I feel like that'd be enough.
Yeah,
for at least cut out half the problems with that.
We'll see.
Anyways,
we'll see. I don't know. I don't like the cheating. I'm not a fan of cheating. So let's talk about the APP Shuffle. What do you think of the format? So APP Shuffle. It reminded me very much of the way we play that like cascading like money ball.
Yeah.
So like 4 people on the court, you play with each partner. They played rally scoring, no freeze.
Back up a little bit. Like what is the APP Shuffle? So I didn't even realize.
I didn't know about it either until it was that I didn't know the format until I turned it on today.
Yeah. Like, I didn't even know it was a thing until you mentioned it. So I guess just to give people an update of like what we're talking about. So APP New York was this week. They did the normal tournament. It ended Saturday.
Finished it on Saturday. And then today was the APP Pro Shuffle.
Which is like a different event.
Yep. Completely different event.
So they had 16 males, 16 females. They were all grouped into different pools.
Yep.
They'd rotate partners, get points. One person from each pool would then advance to the next round. They would do the same thing until you eventually
get a winner.
I think
it was 2 people from each pool.
Was it 2?
I like from the beginning pools. And then I think it like filtered out.
Then it filters out?
Yeah.
Yeah, so anywho, you don't have a partner.
Nope.
You enter as like an individual, and then kind of work your way through the pool system until eventually you have 4 people in the championship round.
And then it's like point differential and wins
after they all play each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, that happened today. It finished today. So Jack Monroe won for the males, Megan Fudge
won for the ladies.
For the ladies. And yeah, so you were about to jump in of what your thoughts were.
I was saying they did rally scoring, no freeze.
Yep. Okay. It was a 21?
21. I don't know if I like it though.
Why not?
So I noticed something in the ladies game, the championship. The person in fourth, like it was, I'm gonna say her name wrong, like Genchiva.
Genchiva?
I forgot how you say her name, but she was pretty far down, like point differential wise. And I felt like she had nothing to gain from so I felt like she almost left her partner out to dry just a little bit. Like she wasn't playing as hard as she could.
Yeah.
It felt that way. I wasn't there, but
yeah, you can kind of game it that way a little bit. Cause once you get past, so there's 3 total rounds in like a pool. After the first 2 rounds, there's only 2 people that could potentially win. So the other 2 people of the foursome are not motivated.
Yeah. It's like
win.
There was like a battle basically for second, third. Fourth was so far back. There was no way. And like the winner was,
unless you're paid out, or they were probably paying out 1, 2, 3, 4.
I would hope so.
If they were, then there's an incentive for the people to play and try to finish third, second place. Otherwise,
I don't know. It just seems
doesn't matter.
It just seems like if you're so far back, you're kind of just like
no. So when we did that format for that Moneyball thing, I remember I was put into the second group because I took in second place in my pool, and then this was like the money round. If you finished first in that round, you got some money, but only first place in your group of 4 was paid out.
Yep.
So we got to the third round, and I wasn't in the running, but my partner was, and the person I was playing was. And I am ashamed to say this, but I was like, for some reason, I had like some beef on the person I was playing with, and I was like, I want the person across from me to win, and so
you basically
I held back
gave that guy some money.
So I held back a little bit. I don't remember who it was. They're gonna watch this and remember that it was me.
Oh man!
But no, like that could totally happen, right? And then like the second question is like they're trying to like crown like an individual champion, does this format give you the best individual? And I don't even know why you want to find the best individual, because like this is a team sport. There's a lot of synergy. Like the success of one person, like one person is going to do really well with another, and like they could win tournaments together. But then you pair that person with somebody else, and they're horrible.
No, and so I think it does cater to the most adaptable partner. I think
more dynamic.
Yeah, because I think if you're good with multiple people that have multiple personalities on the court, you do better than if you're somebody that like. Because there's some people that like can't play with people that have negative energy at all. So if you get paired with somebody like that and you just fall apart, even though you're a really good player. So I do think it caters to whoever kind of adapts to who they're playing with the best.
And like when you look at Jack, like he is the guy that won the male group. He is very versatile. Like he has a lot of options.
Oh yeah,
and I feel like his style.
Did you see him play left side with his left-handed left side?
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah. He's
he's ambidextrous, but it was still fun to watch.
Really impressive. Yeah. And so like it makes sense so that he ended up winning that thing, because just watching him play, it's like, okay, that kid can adapt, get along with, like he's cool, like chill. Seems like someone that's easy to work with, right? And so that kind of personality and play style is going to benefit more from this than like a different format. And so you're going to get the best player that's
like, you're going to get the best teammate.
I don't know. Like you're going to get a very versatile player.
Yeah.
But is that person going to win a bunch of tournaments per se?
No, maybe not necessarily.
Although he did win men's.
He did
too with Barrientos.
Mario. Yeah. Did you watch that? Mario's got the most interesting third shot drop I've ever seen.
What does he do? I can't remember.
He kind of just like tip down, puts his paddle there, and then like straight arm, like it's just
like a dink.
Yeah.
I should probably hit it more
third
like
shot
that.
Drops. It's really interesting looking, but they go over.
I should probably do that, because I have like zero confidence in my thirds right now. It's
go back and watch his match, because like that's the first thing I was like, man, those are some interesting thirds, but they go over.
I'll go copy his form. But it's kind of fun to see a different format. I mean, I think it was pretty fun to watch.
It was fun to watch. It reminds me of rec play. Because we always do we do 2 of 3, but like with each person.
Yeah, it was kind of like a rec play session a little bit. Yeah, it was it was kind of unique. I think they're going to start throwing this at the end of tournaments here and there. I don't really know what the grand plan is.
I don't either.
For this APP shuffle.
I feel like everything is so malleable. Like everything's just changing
I think
like, week to week.
Just throwing crap at the walls.
See what people love.
But like in general, it's like, okay, that was kind of cool. But I had no idea it was a thing until this morning.
No, I didn't either. I got a text message and somebody was like, "Hey, how's Susanna doing?" I'm like, "She took bronze yesterday.
Like, she's done."
And they were like, "No, the shuffle." I'm like, "What's the shuffle?" And then I had to like run around and figure out how to find Fox Sports Network.
Yeah, they played on Fox. I watched the morning session.
That was on YouTube, right?
That was on YouTube.
Okay. But yeah, that was fun though. I liked that. Let's see. My last bit of drama to talk about. Something kind of just irks me. I'm sure you have an opinion on this though. The kitchen Facebook. So somebody, this just made me so angry the other day, especially like as us that like try to give unbiased review of paddles. And somebody asked like, "Hey, what's a good paddle under X amount?"
So Kitchen is just like primarily a Facebook community, Instagram account. Like it's a community thing,
it feels like it's a community, but it's definitely a highly monetized.
Yeah.
And it's gotten worse. They still have some good stuff on there, but it's definitely very monetized for their purposes. But so somebody asked like, "Hey, what's a good paddle under $120?" And the Kitchen says, "Here's a list, like the top 5 paddles under whatever from their site," and then shuts off comments.
like how blatant.
Yeah, I'm like, no, exactly. To me, I'm just like, come on, like put your spiel out there. That's fine. Like you should have loyalty. Like people pick paddles you talk about because they trust you. Like if you just like ice everybody out, like if we iced everybody out in the YouTube comments, like I don't know.
It's not a community, right?
No, it doesn't feel like a community, and it just irks me.
Nah, yeah, you sent that to me this week, and I was just like,
well, no, that's to say, like it reminded me. I'm like, man, Braydon had the same thing when you gave your opinion on the Annalee Waters paddle. I forgot which thickness.
Oh yeah, that was
like,
a weird one.
I wasn't super impressed, and then they deleted your comment.
Yeah,
like
you're not allowed opinions in the opinionated community.
I don't know. What do you guys think about it? Like it just.
The Kitchen just got a new headquarters. They got to pay for it.
I know.
The one paddle cell they got from that post. It's going to change everything. Yeah. No, they've always done some fishy stuff. It's not really fishy, but they just are like.
Well, they've blocked. I feel like 50% of the stuff I post gets just removed. They're like, "Oh, it's self promotion."
Yeah,
but then they share other people's.
It's highly guarded. Yeah, you kind of have to be in with them a little bit.
I do want to know, like, what do we have to pay them to post? Like if I wanted to promote that, I should ask them. I just want to know. I don't want to, but I just want to know what it would cost for me to like share the podcast link. Like, what are people paying these guys?
I don't know.
Enough to buy a new headquarters.
Yeah, so. I mean, to their credit, though, they've built a huge audience.
Oh, absolutely.
And like their community is huge, and they have a ton of followers.
Yeah, it might even have surpassed Pickleball Forum. I don't know. I'd have to look. But
yeah, I mean, that question of monetizing is always tough. Like I see them trying different things all the time, figuring out how to
pay the bills,
monetize their audience. I guess I don't like thinking of it that way, right? Like monetizing your audience. Like no, like these are my friends.
No, exactly. I mean, I want to give you an honest review. Like I don't want to just give you a review for what makes me the most money.
Right. Like you and I just think so opposite of that. It's like if you like our stuff, then like awesome, use it. Like I want people to use our codes and things because they like us.
Not because that's the only option.
Because like we helped them and it was valuable, and I don't know, whatever.
So that was it for my drama. Let's talk about our meeting this week.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
That's the next thing on the docket.
Oh, it is written here. Okay, good. Yeah, so let's move on to paddle babble and gear. So Rose is the head of sales.
For
Babolat.
Yep.
She lives in Colorado, and she came down to hang out
with us
and meet us. It was really cool. She was actually in this room. We sat down, and she was just kind of tell us, what challenges she's facing, a little about their shoes, their gear. We shared what we were doing, and but she was very, very sharp.
Yeah, she was way more knowledgeable than some people, like especially like in sales, like.
She knew her stuff.
She knows pickleball.
Yeah, it's like when she pulled out her paddles, she's like, I know they're paint grit.
That was the best part. As she pulls them out of the backpack, she's like, I know they're paint grit. Like,
But no, she's very on top of it. She listens to our podcast. She listens to a bunch of others, and she's very in tune with the market, what's going on. And I think if she was able, like, given free reign to call the shots on the paddle development and other things, the paddles they have now probably look a little different. But I'm like very confident in that their future, like they're going in the right direction.
Definitely.
Like, these paddles they have now, like they're not horrible.
They're not bad.
They're not bad at all. But like I do feel like there are better paddles out there, mainly just because like the paint grit just wears out so fast. Like that's a big turnoff for me and a lot of people. And but they do feel nice. They do play nice, and I like how they have like a control all court and power paddle. Like it's segmented nice. Yeah,
very distinctive models.
Yeah, and like they're cool looking, and they do have that cool piece with the was it called
Smack
foam
SMAC.
So they have like a patent on this that they use in their tennis stuff and they're trying to find the best way to apply it to their pickleball paddles. So they've done it with past paddles, but that is kind of a thing that's unique to them. And so, which is a cool thing that they do because it does kind of make the paddle feel a little softer.
A little dampening. Yep.
So they have some good stuff going, and I'm a big fan of their shoes. But it was really impressive to have a sharp shoe because I've talked to people from other bigger companies, and you just don't get the same sense of how like knowledgeable they are as I did with her.
Yeah.
And anyway, she was really impressive, but it brought up this like interesting question to me. So Babolat is this huge like international brand for tennis. They actually were pretty early on in pickleball. Like they've been making paddles for years. But they're headquartered out of like France.
Yep.
So her challenge is like their headquarters in France. In France and Europe, like paddle or padel is really big.
Yep.
So they're excited about that. They don't necessarily see the same potential for pickleball as Rose does, because it's just so big in the U.S. and they just don't interface with as much U.S. stuff. And with the company being so big, like it's a big ship you have to move, and so innovating, coming out with new paddles is a big deal. Every time they come with a new paddle, they have to fulfill orders for like big retailers, for small shops. Like it's a big deal every time they come out with a new piece of equipment.
Yeah, that was like kind of eye-opening too, just like the way she said, like even like her ideas, they have to travel all the way to France, they have to discuss it, and it can be basically a whole cycle of paddles came out from everybody else by the time like they make a move, just because how the big brands operate. And that was kind of eye-opening to me.
Yeah. Because you and I both had the question. We're like, why isn't Head? Why isn't
Wilson,
these guys?
Adidas, like
why aren't they coming in and squashing?
Exactly, because they have so much money. I'm like, why are they not just leading the charge?
And it's just they just are slower boats, I feel like. And with the current market, with everything's moving so fast, like new paddles, new technology, new like trends are like 3, 4, 5, 6 months apart. Like it's really quick.
It is quick,
and it kind of favors these smaller brands who can turn around things quick, who can kind of follow the trends a little bit. And so yeah, like in the current market with the way how fast things are moving, I feel like it benefits the smaller brands. That's why we've seen so much success from these medium-sized brands. You have like the 6-0s, the Havik Pros, the Volairs, who are like these people who started just, garage
basically in the garage, right? Yeah.
And now they're like full-fledged companies. And because they were smart, they followed the trends, they made good paddles, they marketed well.
They can move quick.
They can move fast. Yeah. And these big brands just can't do it.
And that was fun. I actually like the way she classified the brands too, like how you have the innovators, the Instagram brands, and then what are they? I forgot what she called, like the legacy brands, kind of the Babolat,
the Head,
Wilson. So I thought that was kind of a good way to describe the brands, because that is kind of what we see.
Yeah, but yeah, she definitely knew her stuff, and that was kind of eye opening of like the challenges that those brands face, because she mentioned like they kill it with like their tennis rackets and strings and things like that. And she said they don't introduce a new tennis racket. Like they make an update once every 3 years.
Every 3 years. Yep. Yeah. If you do that in pickleball, you're done.
Yeah. You can't do that.
No.
And so that I was surprised to hear how infrequent they update their like tennis rackets. And I'm sure they're not the only tennis brand that does that. Like it's probably pretty common.
I'd have to look too at their pickleball paddles, because I remember they came out with a Monster. How long did the Monster, like how long between that and the new line was that? Because it did seem like a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it was faster than 3 years.
No, faster than 3 years. But that's what I'm saying in terms of pickleball. It felt like forever.
Right. Yeah, like a year in pickleball feels like a long time for there's really only a few paddles that have kind of withstood the stood time. Like I feel like the 6-0 double black diamond, which was introduced over a year ago, is still very relevant,
Very
super
popular.
solid. I don't know, like what are some other brands?
I know
that
I know the Selkirk amp stayed popular for
a long time. That was introduced in 2017.
Yeah, and like I still see some of those. Like
yeah,
that's a good one. The double black diamond's a big one.
I don't know. I guess there's really no others that like really come to mind as like, okay, this is like been a staple for a while. But yeah, you don't see that as often.
No.
And yeah, like, anyways, I just thought that was fascinating. And that's kind of why we see so many smaller brands seeing success and innovate, just that innovative factor.
Yeah. That was a great conversation. And I'm super glad she came to meet us.
Yeah. I'm glad she came down. She's cool. But yeah, no, I have a lot of faith in them and what they're going on, where they're going with. They just need to give Rose the reins.
They do.
Free Rose. I want to talk about Selkirk and Yola for a second. So I published my Selkirk review this week, and I mean, me and the general consensus, I feel seems like Selkirk is slipping. Their performance has fallen, in my opinion, for their performance brands. I feel like they're, what's the word for it? They're prioritizing like aesthetics over performance. Like they're sticking with the edgeless designs. They're sticking with the paint grit because the edgeless looks sexy. And with the paint grit, you can have a bunch of colors and fun designs that you just can't get with a raw carbon face.
Their priority of this model was to show that they can make their paddles match their backpacks.
Is that what they did?
Every
the neon green,
every
the
color
purple
matches one of their backpacks.
Yeah, like this was like a.
They do look good though.
This was like a. Yeah, no, they look great, but like from like a serious player's perspective, like unless you're like a sponsored Selkirk person, do you ever see Selkirks at like high 5-0
no
pro events?
Mm-mm. No,
open events?
even here, all the people we see that are higher level playing with them are advocates or Selkirk advocates.
Yeah, they have some sort of
like deal. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I cannot think of a single higher level person that is not an advocate that is playing.
Nope.
Lucas has a deal.
Lucas is an advocate as well.
Yeah.
Same with Mariana. So, yeah, there's everybody I know that plays with the Selkirk above 4.2 is an advocate locally.
Yeah, and they're. I just feel like they used to be at like the top, like
100%,
like performance wise, and now I feel like they've shifted gears and like, okay, we're focusing on the 3.5s, the 4.0s that don't care 100% about performance, and just want a really good looking paddle that's fun and it's easy to shop with Selkirk because they are very convenient.
They
right?
are. Yep.
They have lots of different shapes, weights, styles, looks. It's very easy to shop with them, and I feel like that's the power of Selkirk where they're making their money, and it's definitely for a different market than the performance market.
But that is the bigger market. So if we're thinking like as a business, from a business aspect, we're the minority.
Yes, but the group think of like the higher level sphere filters down. I feel like
I think so.
If
if we talk bad about them,
like,
it'll filter.
It filters down, and like the reputation you gain or lose filters down. And I wonder if long term that it could hurt them.
Yeah, I mean, what are they doing to address the pro level power paddles?
Well, you've mentioned before that Selkirk's like against the huge power paddles, and so I don't know if they're going to come out with.
But
one.
as a pro, no. As I say, as a brand, that's what I've heard, that they're not super all about this arms race. But as a pro, if I want to compete with these guys that have power paddles, I want my brand to, like we talked about this, like pickleball, like you want your paddle to be equivalent to any other pros, no matter what brand you are with.
Right.
You want the same capability from your paddle. So
they have the 002, which is old,
but
a lot of their players
still use it.
Yeah, because that's the biggest power
that's
paddle.
A big power paddle, yeah.
And then you do see the airs, like so Susanna uses the air, Catherine uses the air, Jack Sock.
He's using the amp now.
Uses a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, he uses all three paddles in one day.
He can smush anything. Doesn't matter as much for him. But yeah, like I do feel like they're slipping a little bit performance wise, and that their shift is definitely changed to be more oriented towards just a different audience.
And the neon green guys. What were you? Come on, what were you thinking?
It was to match their bags, like you said.
But that color's wild.
Yeah, that color. Like I haven't played against one, but it does seem like a cheat code.
It's going to be bad, I'm sure. I haven't seen anybody that has it yet, but I played with somebody using the red one today. So,
yeah, I mean, I do think the amp's better than the Pro Air or just the Power Air. So like, if you like the Power Air, like go for it. Otherwise, I just feel like there's better performing paddles.
Well, I feel like they just took their like Lux, Power Air. Let's make one in the middle.
Someone made a comment on that on my review. They're like, "What is Selkirk Labs even being used for right now?" Like,
you don't want my.
They're innovating like all these paddles for, you know. Oh man, we're pushing the level all only to introduce a slightly thicker version of a paddle they introduced 2 years ago.
So I mean, I'm cynical, but like when I first saw Labs, I'm like, this is just a brilliant marketing scheme to make you feel special and buy into it.
I thought it was smart.
So, but no, it's brilliant. But I'm like, it's just brilliant marketing.
No, it is really good marketing. And I actually really like the idea of making their R&D process more transparent because it does show them as like an innovator.
And I know they used it because the 001, they basically threw out, right? They had to reformulate the 001. So
yeah, I feel like they're not pushing it as hard as they did when it initially came out, but I do like the idea of the transparent, because when I look at other brands who have really transparent R&D, I think people view them as being a step above other people, because not everyone is able to innovate and do R&D. A lot of people are just doing like the shelf paddles, right? And so you have brands like 60, Rhombus, Selkirk, these people who were made this process more transparent. And I think that has favored them pretty heavily, because like it gives you a really cool perception, because people I think are smart enough now and they realize a lot of these brands are just off the shelf. And so when you see someone who's doing something different, it's attractive.
Absolutely.
And then so Selkirk, I feel like is dipping performance wise, but maybe their bank account says otherwise.
I'm sure their bank account says otherwise.
So doesn't matter what we think.
They're laughing all the way to the bank at our podcast.
Probably. They're like, yeah, well, let me show you the Benjamins. All right. Then of course Yola has been slipping. Like they've always had the challenge of like the quality control. That's never been in their favor. And then that hit them, and then this whole delisting thing hit them. And now there's even more drama with their recent statement saying we paid an extra fee to get our paddle approved, but USAP is saying they cannot do it in the expedited time they wanted.
So I heard more about that.
Oh, what is it?
From another brand. When you pay for that expedited fee, you're basically just paying for 2 weeks. It hasn't been 2 weeks. So I think they just thought because they were Yola, they cash it and they do it the next day. But like that expedited timeline is still 2 weeks before they test it.
Oh, so it's possible that it still will be within the estimated time frame, but they just made this announcement, making it sound like it's not their fault.
It just feels like a big smear campaign against, like, I don't know,
USAP.
Like both of them. It's very childish right now.
Yeah. So I mean, their bank account's hurting right now, and this hasn't been a good look for them in general.
No. But UPAA's ramping up. One of the guys in the Discord says he got, hit up for a job. He's a mechanical engineer, got hit up for a job to actually work with them.
Oh, it's happening.
So we're going to see some movement.
Jeez. Yeah. That's going to be an interesting one as that develops. All right. Paddles I tested this week that I just kind of want to give a quick shout out to or just talk about. So one is the Maverix Havik paddles. So they have two new ones they've come out with. It's called the Havik 15 All Court and then the Havik 15 Pro.
Yep.
Have you hit those?
Oh yeah.
Give me your thoughts and I'll share mine.
I liked them quite a bit, actually. I'm more of a fan of the Pro. Felt like it just had a little more power. All Court was good too. I really like the design. Like, to me, they do feel so different when I swing them versus some of my other paddles. And I don't know if it's the way I weight it, but like it feels heavier in my hand, but I still feel fast at the net, and it's just like a different feel. I don't know if you'd agree with that, but
no, I do agree with it. I think you captured it well, actually. I feel like what makes these unique is that they do have a little higher static weight that helps kind of plow through the ball, makes them feel like more stable and strong. Mm-hmm. But the swing weight is still like 117 so these are both elongated shapes. They have like the corners cut out on the top, and they're 15 millimeters. So that's kind of cool.
Yep.
But I think you're right. Like it has that static weight because there's benefits to having weight, right? Like, this is why people add weight to their paddles, adds stability, adds power. Like there's benefits to having the weight there, but it can be hard sometimes because it makes the swing weight too high.
Yeah, your hands
but this
feel slower.
this comes out of the box with a little higher static weight, but still a lower like manageable swing weight, and it's a nice combo and it feels good. So their all court is like a carbon fiber, and then the Pro is a Kevlar, and they brand them as like a power and all court, and I think that's right. I think they got the categories right, and the 15 millimeter all court version is more of an aggressive all court style. Like it's still got some pop to it.
It does still have some pop, yeah.
It's not too bad, and but I like the 15 millimeters. I've seen 15 millimeters in other brands. 6-0 released the 15 with the Willinator.
Mm-hmm.
That one was just pretty heavy, although it felt good. But no, I kind of like the idea of the 15 because I've always been a fan of thinner.
Yeah, you're the 14. That's what's funny. It's like you're a 14 guy. I'm a 16 guy. The 15, I'm like, this is where I want to be.
Yeah, it's kind of a nice balance. Like it cuts through the air. It does feel a little more nimble, but it does have a slightly lower trajectory, a little stiffer feel to it. Anyways, I thought those were nice. And then I did a little mini review on the Apollo.
The pizza pan.
I
like it.
Yeah, it's not the prettiest paddle.
No. It's not. It gets the job done. Yeah.
It gets the job done.
You're not gonna pull chicks with this paddle, but
no. So you've hit that one too, then?
Oh yeah,
I
liked it.
Really lightweight, really fast.
Resets well. I watched your mini review too, and I was like, man, we just like had the same feelings. Like I could use a little more power, but if I'm just like, it's a great control paddle, and the price is
$117.
That's hard to beat.
Yeah, super good price, plays good. And like there wasn't like it was a 1 minute review because there was only like 1 minute of things to say about it. Like it's pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
Forgiving, fast, longer handle.
Yeah, mine came at 107, I think.
Yeah, mine was about the same.
Yeah, it was almost 108, but yeah.
Yeah, for a 16 mil, that's crazy light. And it feels light. But yeah, I know a lot of people ask me, oh, how does that compare to the Mach 2? Forza, they're super similar.
Okay, somebody asked me, and I'm like, I haven't hit the Mach 2.
They're super similar. Like they feel very close. The main difference between the two is kind of just the weight. Like the Apollo is just lighter out of the gate.
So the Mach 2 though was like one of the highest spins though, right? So how did the Apollo compare to that in spin?
The spin on the Mach 2 is a little higher, like on paper. When you're playing with them, it's tough to really tell a difference. The Apollo did smooth out a little bit, kind of like the Ruby. You know how the Ruby goes like super good and you got it, and then it got a little smoothed out, but still performed decently spin wise. So Apollo is very similar. Where like that super heavy grit, wiped off pretty quick. Is that just a
characteristic of Kevlar?
I guess. I don't know, but like it was still gritty, but like that heavy grit kind of fell off pretty quick.
Yeah, mine almost stuck to my shirt when I got it. I was like, holy cow!
Yeah, I tested that and it wasn't sticking anymore. Like what it was when you first get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of initial dust falls off, but it's still a solid spin paddle. But yeah, and then the handle's a little longer on the Mach 2, but it's just kind of like it comes down to like price, weight, and just which one looks better to you. Yeah. And it is quite a bit cheaper than the Mach 2. So like if you're
on a budget,
that's a big deal. Like killer. Go for the Apollo.
Yeah. No, and I was saying like that's a great paddle for anybody getting into pickleball.
Oh, 100%.
It's big, it's forgiving, and it's not going to break the bank.
Yeah. Really easy on the arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of benefits to it. It's a good one. So yes, I did that 1 minute review, and then then I tried all the Mark paddles.
So I have the Mark 1X in my bag.
Oh, give me.
I liked it. I like the shape.
Give it to me.
Well, I like that shape because it's the hybrid shape, so it feels kind of like my Loco shape wise. Then it's got the long handle, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is like it's nice.
Was it? So it might have been the first hybrid with like this extended handle. It's a 5.7 inch handle.
Yeah.
And it's nice.
It is. That's kind of a winning combination. I like it.
Yeah. I don't know why no one else has done this before, but I thought it was brilliant to just throw in that longer handle with that hybrid shape, and it feels good. I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I feel like the 1X played very similar to the Ruby, maybe a touch softer, definitely the same vein. I think this year I wrote, they retail for 160. So they're a little cheaper than the Ruby. But yeah, like very, very similar just with that longer handle. But they also have the one. So the one is like similar shape as the Ruby, and then the 1X has the extended handle that's hybrid. So it is nice to have options.
Yeah. And then you have the 2 if you want the regular elongated shape.
Yeah.
So.
But it plays pretty good.
Yeah. No, I like it.
It felt super stable.
And I'm a big fan of green. So their new rebranding is very nice looking.
Yeah, I think it looks sharp. I think they're a little bit on the heavier side for a hybrid shape. They're like pretty similar to the Ruby, like 117, 118. So if that's a concern, then be aware of that. But No, I think they were good paddles. I might do a review of that 1X just because I like that shape.
Yeah.
But-
It'll make for good video just of the paddle. It's a good looking paddle.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a good thing there, and it's priced pretty good. And then J2K is another one that people have been asking me a lot of questions about and been wanting me to review. So this is the Honolulu Pickleball Company. The J2 is a hybrid shape with the like 5.35-inch handle, and it's 100% Kevlar, and it plays very, very similar to the Thrive Azul.
Okay.
And like just like the Mark 1X with some of the Ruby, this one's very similar to Azul. Plays with a little more power, a little more pop than the Mark did and the Ruby, and it's just kind of a cheaper version of the Azul, really.
Okay.
Did you get one of those?
No, they didn't send me one. I tried.
Oh, did you try to get that one?
I tried.
But no, like
they said they were sending you one, so
it's I'll have to give it to you, let you try it out. But no, it played really solid, very, really, again, like super forgiving, just like the Mark ones. Like not every hybrid is forgiving. Like
no,
the Loco isn't quite as forgiving as other hybrids.
No, especially like once you put and that's the thing with what's funny with the Loco is once you put some weight on it, it's like
chews it up a little bit.
It's like, is this really a control paddle or is this more of a power paddle?
Yeah, bumps it up a little bit. But no, like they both played a really good stock out of the box. Very manageable weights, really strong there. But yeah, if you're interested in the Azul, this is basically a cheaper version of the Azul, but then you don't get the benefit of picking the exact weight. But it's $155. The J2K is with discount code. I don't know what was that, drops it down. It's like probably like 135. So it's a pretty good deal. So both the J2K and the Mark paddles are
good value.
Good value, really solid, play well. But yeah, good experiences. Those I don't know if I'll do full reviews of those, but I do want to do something for them. And then I got the Havik Pro Prism Flash long handles. So this is the second long-handled hybrid I played. So first was the Mark 1X.
So it's catching on.
But then, I got this one in. But the twist weights were a lot stronger for the Mark paddles than the Prisms for whatever reason. But dude, I'm falling back in love with the Prisms lately. Ever since I played that tournament with it, I've been pulling it out, and it just feels so good. And I just control that paddle really well. I might use that in Dallas. I'm not sure.
Ooh.
Either that one or stick with my Mach 2 Forza 14. I don't know. I just want to be
gold edition.
Just want to be confident.
With your own
I might.
paddle?
I haven't spec'd it out yet. But,
okay.
I might dress that one up and play with it. But no, but I do like this trend of the longer handles with this hybrid shape. And but yeah, it's nice to see Havik add some options.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are sweet. What else did you play with this week?
I did try that Thompson paddle. Did you get a chance to try that yet?
I hit against the wall for a second. Yeah. Tell everyone about it. This one's kind of interesting.
So instead of like your traditional,
the brand's called Thompson.
They're out of Michigan.
They reached out to you. I had never heard of them.
No, I reached out to them because somebody on the comments asked about it, and I never heard it. I think it was the comments on YouTube asked about it, and I'd never heard of them. And then I looked it up, and it's like a small company. I sent them an email, and then we got on a phone call. And
it always ends with the phone call.
It does. I love talking to people, so it always works. If you're a brand and you want to talk, give me a call.
I'm like, just email me, give me the deets, and you're like, let's talk.
No, I would way rather talk on the phone than send emails all day. So we talk. Really small brand, super smart guys, and they're like, we think we can do paddles better. So they come up with what they call like the True Feel technology. So you know how a typical paddle have your edge guard, and then you have like that carbon wall that's injected with foam against the core. So they basically have urethane. It's like this thick that goes all the way up to the core. So it's like urethane goes all the way down through the handle.
Almost like a Yola. Like I'm picturing like a Yola, how it has that
kind of
rim.
Exactly. I'll have to show you the pictures. Kind of like almost that thick is what it looks like. So urethane laid all the way down.
What is urethane? Like
it's like a skateboard wheels. You ever?
Okay, yeah.
So it's like a
little firmer.
That'd be a plastic. I don't know.
Plasticky, yeah, like a soft plastic.
It's like soft, yeah. So all the way down the handle, and then the core is inlaid there, and then they bevel the edges, so it has like a really nice, smooth edge to it.
It's edgeless,
yeah, but it's edgeless.
But it has that smooth.
But that edge is actually the urethane that's going into the.
Yeah, it's like a softer feel to it.
Yeah, and they said like what it helps with is like perimeter weighting, and then of course they're makes the whole face the sweet spot, like everybody says.
Yeah, every paddle, not a dead spot on it.
But it has a very unique. I mean, you hit against the wall. It feels different, and like I can't put I like it. I hate the handle though.
Oh, the handle's horrible.
Like,
sorry, Thompson, but your handle's horrible.
I hope you'll take feedback. Your handle looks like a BMX bike grip.
So uncomfortable.
And it has the weird knob on the bottom. And like Molly saw it and she's like, that looks like a softball bat.
hopefully they're early enough in the process where they can change their handle.
Oh, but like that was the only thing I hated. I was like, I don't like this. And I'm weird. Handles are very important to me. But
I think everyone's that way.
The paddle feels good. The handle just sucks. So I want to cut the handle off and just throw a...
is it the handle itself or just the grip thing they put on it?
So I was looking at it. It looks like it's like some kind of silicone grip. So I think I'm just going to cut it off and throw a Hestacore on there and call it a day.
So it's not necessarily the handle shape itself. It's just, it has like that round, whatever
it looks
grip
like a bike
they put
grip.
on there.
It looks like a bike grip.
It does. It has like the
same round thing that goes up against your...
Yeah.
So I'm going to cut that off, throw a Hestacore on there.
And see how it plays.
Yeah.
You ran the numbers on it. I didn't. Like the twist weights and stuff you said were strong.
Yeah,
right?
they were good. I'd have to look up I sent them to you. I gave you the...
Yeah, I think you sent them to me.
I gave you the lighter one, I think. I took the heavier one.
Yeah, like the numbers looked pretty solid.
Static weight was pretty high on both of them.
But the swing weight was lower.
It was, yeah, exactly.
And the twist weight was really good, especially for an edgeless paddle.
Mm-hmm. And elongated shape.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, the numbers were attractive.
So I liked it. I didn't like the handle.
The facing felt different.
The carbon
too.
feels way different.
It feels interesting.
100% made in America. So go to their Instagram after the show and watch how they make these paddles.
Oh, they have a video on there?
They're low production, and you'll see why when you see because everybody's like, well, it's $250. When you watch what they're doing, it's a lot of work, and it's all being done in America. So if that's important to you, it's cool to check out. They do need to change the grip, though. But if it's just silicone, I'm going to cut it off. I wanted to play with it first before I go cutting it open.
Dude, what's up with all these American-made paddles with weird handles? Like Paddle Tech had their bubble butt cap for the longest time. They were made in America. Engage had the same one.
I don't know.
Like just put a normal
just do what everybody
on
else is doing. But it's super interesting paddle. It looks good. Like it's clean. It's got like an American flag on it. Like
so
a little
I don't think, can you buy them right now?
I don't know. I think you can. They're not approved. They're supposed to be approved this month.
Yeah. Watch out for the approval. I don't think it's technically approved yet. But I do want to spend some time with that because that one looks interesting.
Yeah.
It's something different.
I'm excited to put another handle on it and try it. So
yeah. Give us a report back on that one. What else did you play with this week?
Today I just got some new paddles from Alpha. You know Alpha at all?
I've heard of them, but I can't recall details.
They just sent me it's like 17 millimeter aramid core, 18K carbon on the outside, edgeless. It feels insanely gritty. Like it feels like it's
another one of those.
I'm like, is this legal? But I haven't hit with it yet. It just can't. Like I just opened it before I came here, but they look different. I'm not a huge edgeless guy, so we'll see.
Yeah, I don't feel like anyone's really cracked the code yet.
Mm-mm.
So 6-0 has been touting that they have an updated BDI, the Black Diamond Infinity coming that's supposed to have a really strong twist weight for an edgeless. And so I haven't hit one of the updated ones yet, but like potentially that one could crack the code for edgeless. Sounds like this Thompson one maybe can crack the code for edgeless. But I have not been convinced that edgeless is better than an edge guard paddle at this moment.
Yeah, I agree.
Last thing I'll finish off with here is a listener question. So someone asked, why do paddles have variances in weight? Which is a great question. So like when you go and buy any paddle, you're going to see a weight range, say 7.8 ounces to 8.2 ounces, which is like, half an ounce is pretty significant. And like if you get a 7.8 and you play compared to an 8.2, like they do play a little bit differently.
Yeah, you feel it.
But yeah, it's a great question. Why do we see this weight range? So when paddles are being manufactured, one of the materials they use is glue. So when they glue the facing to the core, the amount of glue you use can change the weight. And then there's other variances like the amount of foam on the sides or how like the polymer is cut. So like when you cut the polymer, you might have whole cells or half cells around the edges. So it kind of depends on where
it falls.
And so all these things, so like the glue, the foam, even like the amount, I don't know, there's just small variances in those, like mainly those three things. Yeah. That's going to give you that weight range. So that's why we see a variance. But I think the biggest culprit is the amount of glue that's used and how that kind of shakes out. From the videos I've seen, it's a person that will glue it. I don't think it's like a machine. And there might be machines that do it in
the bigger brands,
bigger factories. But no, I think the amount of glue you use is the biggest culprit. So that's why you'll see different stuff here. And then I guess I did have a note here. I forgot about this. Franklin is coming out with a new ball.
I went and looked at it after you posted that link.
Looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, it does. And they said it's going to be harder. So
Yeah,
I'm wondering if this is a play to be the next APP ball.
Maybe.
So
I mean, Franklin has one of the best records. Like their ball is one of the most popular, well-received balls.
Still the most popular. Like at our parks, Franklin by far.
Everywhere. And every poll I've done, everything like Franklin's always there.
Yeah.
And so they know it's a softer ball, and they're saying this next one's going to be more of a competitive, harder ball. But they're still going to keep the X40 around.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't going to like replace it. This is just supposed to be a more competitive ball. But one of the things they're doing with it that looks cool is it's going to be eco-friendly. So, which is, I think, is a huge deal. Like so many balls go in the garbage and end up in the landfills and will stay there forever. But these are supposed to be biodegradable after so many months, which I think is awesome. And I don't know if there's another ball that does that. There might be. I haven't looked it up.
Yeah, I haven't.
But this will be the first major brand to introduce something like that, and I think it's great. And I'm really happy that they're doing that. And if it does play as well as their X40, but a little more competitive, then this thing could be big.
I'll see if they want to hop on a call and we can get some balls.
Yeah, hop on a call, would you? I'll just tell me about it. I'll just talk to him. I'll just email him.
Okay.
That's everything we got today, Kyle.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys.
See ya.
Bye.